don't. Do not. But I have to. I have to. How we doing? How we doing? How are we doing? How we're doing? We're doing good? We're doing good. There's not going to be anybody here. I have a black dot on my windshield screen. Uh-huh. How we doing? How we doing? We're doing good? We're doing good. There's not going to be anybody here. Black dot? Okay, yeah, okay. It's 4. Hey, yeah, there's a black dot on my windshield that I can't get off. I'm not going to stop to take care of that. All right, so what am I doing today? I'm not really chasing today. I'm on my way to Dallas because I have to work on the other side of the camera starting tomorrow on a TV series episode. So that's why I'm on the road today, and lo and behold, we have a few pop-up little thunderstorms going here and there. And although I have not paid a whole lot of attention to it, I think that is potentially a direct result of what was Hurricane Eric out in the Pacific. We're getting remnant moisture, maybe from that. A lot of it got scoured out over the mountains of Mexico, but I think this may be one of the things that has brought a little added moisture in. So we got this one over here. See, harmless. It's harmless. And we got another one over here. See there, that was harmless. And behind us, there's another one off in the distance back there. It's also harmless. But hey, we'll just do a road trip. We're doing a road trip today. Yeah. Yeah, there's no severe risk down here in Texas. I'm not even paying attention to what's going on around the rest of the country. I know a lot of stuff is way up northern plains, and obviously I don't have time to go up there because I'm headed to do this other project now, and then I have another project that starts next week as well. So for now, we'll just do this. We'll get into a country drive here in a bit. Yeah, do I wish I had time to be in the northern plains? Sure, of course I do. Get a few miles down the road, I'm gonna still try to get that little black dot off my windshield. It is stubborn. I don't know what it is. It is so stubborn it will not come off. But I have to get fuel here in about 35 minutes or so, and I'll clean it off then. I don't know how far north these little pop-ups are going to progress, actually. It's low? Okay, well, that might be because I'm not talking very loud either. I've not changed anything. What? What's going on with that? Okay. Let's see if I can get this to go. See if I can get this to go, tie in a little more data. Right quick. Okay, so audio levels going way up. So I don't know. Let me listen to the playback side of it and see what it sounds like on my end. See if I can get this to go. Oh yeah, that sounds fine to me. Okay. Uh-huh, okay. Now if I can find my other power cord, that'd be great. Hey, I didn't plan on streaming anything today. I just thought, what the heck? I have to go to Dallas. I have little thunderstorms that have popped up around. So, hey, why not? It's something to look at. Nothing on TV, at least you can take a Sunday drive. That little black dot in the upper left corner, it still aggravates me that it's there. It is what it is. Let's see, yeah, I got that one of them that's just to my north. I don't know how long it'll last. It's actually headed for the town that I'm headed to for. Actually, we'll pass just a little bit west of that town. Actually, that's where I was going to stop and get fuel on the north side there. And then there's that one right over there that is directly to my east. And a man on a tractor. Maybe a 1 hour stream today. Maybe a little longer, who knows. There's certainly nothing tropical in the Atlantic that I'm even worried about. There is actually one area out in the central Atlantic, I guess. It's too far north. It's going to be in a hostile environment. Very low probability of any formation with that area of low pressure out there, so I'm not concerned with that. And then the rest of the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, I got to remember to start saying that now. But everything else is relatively quiet because of the dust and because of shear. So I don't have any streams planned for tropical stuff yet. But it's early, mid-June, or late part of June. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. You get that peak up there in early September. We'll see what happens down the line. So I'm going to be going right towards this other one. It's kind of cool to look at anyway. And no, I can't say anything about what I'm going out to Dallas to work on this week. I can tell you what it is. It's Landman Season 2. 1 episode. That's all I can tell you. Yes, I do have the chat open, but when I'm on the road, a lot of times I don't look at things instantly as they come across, and I know there's not that much there anyway. Brazos River here, and as I cross over into Brazos County, Burleson County, the river's pretty full. A lot of stuff up north, previous time period, all flows down south, right? All flows downhill. And hey, I might as well burn up some of the data that I have available since I'm not going to burn through it this month. There's no way I'm going to burn through the data I have this month on all my stuff. Right now, just running where's my cursor for one thing? I'm just running the Starlink, one AT&T connection, and one Verizon connection. Is all I'm running right now on the bond. So, should be fairly stable. It'll have its problems. Yeah, this is a good looking little storm up here I'm fixing to turn towards, so let's have something better to look at. Until I can safely turn. It's not my time yet. Golly, am I ever going to get a break? Seems like I wait more and more, just waiting for my opportunity to turn or my opportunity to get through a red light. Which you're not really getting through a red light. You're just waiting for the green light so you can go through the green light. Because guess what? You can't go through red lights. It's illegal. Good gosh. I'm going to go ahead and go now because I have a window to go. All right. So there we go. There's our little cell right there. There he is. All right. Now that I'm on this road all by myself. Oh. Actually, the only time I saw a UFO was probably back in 1976 or somewhere in that area. And it was not because I was roaming the roads. So I had a bunch of people lived nearby, so a bunch of us kids growing up and stuff grew up in the same area, the same street, and all kind of cool stuff. But anyway, we were just standing outside one night and we saw something we never could explain, never could find out what it was. It was weird. It was totally silent. Yeah. So yeah. I say yeah. It's unidentified because I don't know what it was. Was it actually something of an alien nature? Probably not. Oh, whatever. Uh-huh. UFOs. Well, on camera right now is today's UFO, but I know it's not unidentified. I know exactly where it is. I know exactly what it is. And it's no threat to humanity. Unless we get, I hadn't seen any lightning out of this thing, actually. There may be some. The temperature today also is helping things along. It's up there in the low 90s. We've got the daytime heating working with this. That's really about all you have. A little additional moisture, as I said earlier, and I truly believe probably came from remnant moisture from the Pacific hurricane that came into Mexico 3 days ago, 2 days ago, whatever it was. So daytime heating's got a little more moisture to work with, and that's why we have what we have right now. Actually, looks like it's trying to split off a little bit. The closer I get, the more it's going to fill up the screen, that's for sure. Off camera for just a bit. I'll turn it, see what we can do. I wouldn't mind driving through it, actually. Need to wash the truck off a little bit. What do we got? 10 bored people on a Sunday afternoon, including myself. I got to do this to amuse myself as well, just a 3-hour drive. I don't want to get on up here get checked into my hotel, and there's a lightning strike. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to get into my hotel. Maybe I also want to go over to where this set location, studio, all that stuff. I wanted to go kind of scope everything out as well, grab a meal, and then get back to the hotel. Probably find a way to make an ice pack. Because I'm not going to kid you, for a month I've been fighting this issue with my left lower back or hip area. And I've had it before, and I don't know, it almost might be like sciatic nerve stuff, but I'm not 100% sure that that's all that's going on right now. But it's been uncomfortable to the point where, you know, I can tolerate pain, but when it's persistent, I get aggravated with it. So I've been doing my own treatments. I have been to my chiropractor twice already with this, and it's still not gone. And every now and then the pain is rather acute, and I don't enjoy that. So doing the ice treatments and the rub downs it's helped, but I'm not over this by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, if I just turn my body a little bit wrong right here while I'm driving, I'm gonna feel a sharp pain. So I won't be turning my body unless I do it by accident. What did we lose? I think I got my HDMI. Now this should not be dropping through this area, but it is for some reason. Oh well. What's behind? Now you see some more towering cumulus going up back there. I think this one, it may actually could say some of this stuff too could potentially, especially farther south, be aided by a sea breeze. That's one of the triggers we get down here in the southeastern part of Texas, especially around the coastal plain. You get the sea breeze pretty regular to kick off some thunderstorms that migrate north. The farther north I go, the less you got to worry about sea breeze, obviously. So what's at this angle behind us? Smooth tops back there. I see that one back there. Okay. Unfortunately, dang, I'm hungry too. I did eat lunch today, but I'm hungry. But I didn't eat much lunch. And I had zero breakfast. I had nothing for breakfast. That's part of the problem. I haven't eaten enough. I've seen one lightning bolt. Show you radar, show you what I mean by pop-ups. See all this stuff popped up? It's just stuff everywhere. None of it severe. These things at best, you know, there's some lightning, maybe some gusty winds, but nothing severe. Especially if this thing starts to collapse, it'll push out some pretty good wind. I had most definitely planned to be up in the Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa, North Dakota, you name it. I was going to be up there. How are you doing that? Not going to give me an answer. But I had fully made some tentative plans to be up there, and I would have seen some good stuff. But reasons I mentioned earlier are the reasons that I'm not up there. Well, this little, I'm going to call it a thunderstorm, because if there's lightning, there's thunder, right? So this little thunderstorm moved across this area right here, and I can tell that there was a little bit of wind involved in that core, because occasionally I see some small leaves and limbs and whatnot, you know, laying out on the highway. Really a typical summertime. See, I'm going to be finished, supposedly be finished with all of the next 2 projects. I'll be finished and I'll have some free time in July. At this point in time, I'll have free time in July. Hey, if the north is going to be okay with, if there's going to be any severe weather up north, who knows? I may pull the trigger and I may drive up there. But again, I'm a little bit too tied up with these other productions this week and next week, which I gotta watch this little farm to market highway, because it's terrible about road bonding, and it's got a lot of potholes in it. Man, you don't want to hit one of those. So I'm keeping my eyes kind of focused on the road for the most part, because I don't want to hit one of those holes. It could be detrimental to my tires and my front end alignment. Which, once I get my next set of tires on here, it's going to have to be pretty soon, I think. I'm about due to go back and get a new alignment done. It's smooth as silk riding down the highway, don't get me wrong, but I like to keep that adjusted as best I can. Well, I don't adjust it. Somebody else does it. I don't know anything about it. I'm an electronics guy. I'm not a mechanic. Oh man, there's a bunch of potholes right here. Ugh. If I'm not mistaken, this next curve might have some pretty good potholes in it too. For the few people that are watching, I mean, hit the like and subscribe if you would, please. I would appreciate it. I know this is kind of something to sleep, you know, fall asleep on the couch with, and but there's other days that have some pretty good stuff. I say part of the time, even on a real severe weather day, you know, it's part of it's, you know, waiting for something to happen, and I typically try to start when I schedule, but I don't always do that, because it might be an hour of streaming of really nothing's going on. But put yourself in my shoes, or anybody else for that matter. We have to travel to get there, so a lot of time involved. sometimes you stream for 5 hours and you have maybe an hour's worth of really good content that's in it. You just got to wait for it. You got to wait for things to happen. Yeah, I am going to stop in this next town and get fuel, and let's see, I think I can kill two birds with one stone. I can get some real food right quick too. Okay, we got construction zone here. All right, all clear. Okay. Looks like they are going to widen the highway here. I got enough rain on the windshield to wash that black dot off the screen. That's great. Mother Nature helped me out on that one. Even though I'm not in the heavier part of this, I actually have gotten a little bit north of it. It's hardly moving. So the rear, we don't see anything on the rear. I am really hungry. I am. Pretty first. Had a reporter with me that day doing a story on me, and I exercised extra caution because I did have her with me that day. And but honestly, I would have done nothing different than what I did. I saw that, got southeast, and got out of the way. I didn't learn until a little bit later of the tragedies that involved people that I knew. And that was a hard pill to swallow. So that was it, and I actually prefer, I don't even go back and look at the old videos I have of those that day. I don't like to really, I don't really like to talk about it too much. But that's the answer in short form. I don't really like to talk about it too much. But that's the answer. See, I'm about a mile away from my fuel stop, and guess what I'm going to eat? Venture to take a guess what I'm going to eat. I know you can answer a lot of different ways. It's going to simply be, this is going to be it. Hopefully I'll get some good hot french fries out of the deal. But that'll hold me till I get up to Dallas. I'll be up there, I don't even know what time it is now. What time is it? 3:19. It'll be probably before I get to my hotel. Let's see, it's got, where I have to go is the north side, so it'll be probably about 6:10 p.m. before I get up there. All right, coming to my stop. It's gonna be one of those times I'm gonna have to wait for fuel. Look at the puppy playing. I wouldn't let my puppy run around free in a parking lot. As obedient as that dog appears to be, I wouldn't let my dog roll around. Gosh. I would end up at a place where there's a fuel line. Wonderful. Just great. Oh, let me get into the subject of my other beef. I feel that all vehicles should have the gas tank on the left side. Because you know a lot of them have it on the right. And that just disrupts the flow of any place where you're trying to get fuel. My other pet peeve is, and this is a good example because I think it's actually occurring right in front of me. Actually, not the red one, but there's a white vehicle in front of this one. And I think the person got their fuel or hasn't gotten their fuel or whatever, and they're in the store, whatever, they're in McDonald's, whatever the case may be. They're just there in the way. Here's what I do. I'll get my fuel, and if I'm want to go into the store to get something to eat, like I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go into the McDonald's. I will get my fuel, and then I will move out of the way and park somewhere and then go in so that somebody else can get their gas. I wish everybody would do that. It'd make life a lot more simple. Because this character is not even moving. Maybe this next guy will. The guy that's getting his fuel right now, maybe he'll finish up. And maybe he'll be smart enough to pull out of the way. Because I know two other members of his family. Nope, he's gonna, look at this. Look at this. He's gonna go, oh my Lord. Yeah, he just locked his vehicle. If he's gonna leave it parked there and now go all the way in the store instead of moving out of the way. Good grief. I do not understand. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. This other guy's still sitting in his car. He won't even move out of the way. Son of a bitch. You going? Now, I'm going to get my fuel and then I'm going to move out of the way. I will be back in a minute. You can watch the clouds while I'm gone. Okay? Okay. Starlink will drop out, of course.
have petrol. Okay, what are you doing? Okay. You know, part of the equation here is trying to figure out what other drivers are doing here. You don't know if they're trying to get a gas pump. You don't know what they're doing. Also, no telling how long it will take for me to get some food either. Get a little bit of cash here and go and take care of some nourishment business, and I'll be back in a minute. As you can see, let's see, what's the scare? Time for some brisket and ribs would sound good, but eating that stuff while you're driving, forget it, not gonna happen. As you can see, I did park somewhere else so someone else could get fuel. I'll be back as quick as I can. can't wait to dig into this actually. Yes, I got a large. And they're hot. I got a little stronger cell coming up from my southeast, but I'm not going to sit up here and wait on it. It would take an hour to get up here. My objective is getting on up the road to Dallas. So I can prepare for the day tomorrow. Again, for anybody that new that just joined, tomorrow's not a weather day. I'm going to work on an episode of a TV show, so that's why I'm going up there. Work in front of the camera, not behind it. Like fluffy clouds, I've got a few of those for you today. Earlier in the season, I had a guy right here pulling a trailer, pull all the way across to take the other highway. I had to slam on the brakes. He never signaled, never did a thing, just all of a sudden, from the right lane goes all the way to the third lane over. And if I hadn't hit my brakes, actually, I would have gotten a new vehicle out of the deal. Behind. That's the one that's right behind me that I was talking about. Whoops, wrong one. Okay. See my location kind of center screen, upper left center. Does that make sense? The one coming up from behind me here. That's that top you see right there. I'm eating, that's why I'm so silent. People sure are in a hurry today. I'm going the speed limit in the right lane and people are flying by me. Ah, somebody just passed me with North Dakota plates. I don't wish I was up there. Leah, I know you said something, but I can't look right now. I have French fries in one hand and the other hand is on the steering wheel. But I'll try to look. Ah! Okay, monetization, yes, that's what I'm working for. I still got to get viewing hours. I've got the numbers that I need except for viewing hours. On one level, I'm about, I don't know, last time I looked, I'm about 400 viewing hours short. But then I need another 1,000 for another level. So I'm going to go back and just watch old other streams that I left on there. They're still there. I mean, you can go back and watch old stuff if you want. I think that will add to that total. I was kind of hoping to reach that goal this year. This spring, actually. I know it was a long shot since I didn't really start doing live streaming to YouTube until, I guess, April. Yeah, I've definitely got to get it up there though, because I don't even want to start harping on the expense. I think some of you that are here right now, you actually know from between myself and, I mean, Daniel, I mean, he spends 400% more than I do every year. But just to be out here for a day and stuff with everything that you have to pay for. So many things. It's expensive. Now, today is a different example, really, because I have another purpose for streaming today, and that's just because I'm on the highway heading up to Dallas. And there were some little pop-up thunderstorms. I'm like, what the heck? Didn't want the channel to just sit there and remain silent. I also haven't had time to go back and go through the thousands of hours of video stuff that I have and just create like 1 hour videos to post. Maybe I can do some of that over the winter as time permits, but it takes a little patience to do all that too. Sometimes I don't have a lot of patience, especially when it comes to red lights. Y'all know that. Yeah, more subscribers and more hits of the like button and stuff like that help. Go back to front here. That's what's left of what. So it's actually picked up speed. I wonder why it's picked up speed. There's nothing to it, but it picked up speed. going right up this highway. If you're ever on Highway 6 in Texas, in a little town called Calvert, you better go the speed limit, because their city boundary extends well down this highway. I mean, way out. It's a very small town, but they got their city limits to encompass most of this highway up until I get to the 70-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up here in about 200 yards. I'm in no big rush today either. I mean, my room will be there when I get there for this week, but I don't have to be on set until tomorrow morning. Weird call time tomorrow. Weird. Call time is 7:48 a.m. But my hotel is only about 2 miles away from set location tomorrow, so that's real convenient. It's like, do you want a hotel room? Yeah. Because I don't want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to have to drive up here. No. Yeah. Book me hotel. The season's almost done for the most part. I don't know that the northern plains are actually going to light up all that much. I mean, we're already getting late June. But it's been a weird year too. July could be active. That's why I kind of made the comment earlier that there's a possibility if I don't get booked on some other stuff in July, if I have some time in July, and the northern plains, or even the central plains for that matter, decide to light up for a few days, I may head up there. But it also depends on tropical, whether I go north or, if there's something tropical potentially heading to the States. That's more of my focus when we move into this time of year, mainly, especially starting July 1st. I don't even remember the dates that Hurricane Beryl came in last year. I was down in Madagascar, Texas, and covering that for CBS out of Houston. But yeah, you also have to remember that, I just started this YouTube this year, 2.5 months ago, whatever. And I had to sit there and, pardon me, I'm licking my fingers off too at the same time. Hold on, I need a drink. What was I saying? Oh God. Memorize lines, but I can forget what I'm talking about. That's terrible. I'm useless. I am so useless. Come on, Bob, get with the program. Oh man. Yeah, I'm back on track. I'm good. But yeah, spending a lot of time, each time out, like, okay, I need to try this setting, I need to try that setting, try to get things a little bit better, and so on and so forth. And so it's technically it's still a work in progress. But everything's custom. Go in there and I can create the stream for the day in a matter of a few seconds. It's ready to go. All I have to do is start broadcasting and I'm good to go. Plus I got my split software where I'm sending the stream to a destination, call it destination A, and from destination A I control the other destinations that stream actually reaches, the endpoints. So right now there are 2 endpoints. But all I do is turn the switches on of which ones I want to send it to. So right now, obviously, that endpoint is only set to YouTube. And guess what? That option is not free either. That's a monthly charge. Last year, right through here, I had a little weak, and I'll call it EF0 because that's really all it was. A little weak EF0 swept right across here last year, right next to it. Wasn't much to see. Got windy, of course, but wasn't much to see. I can't believe there's 25 bored people out here today. Or are you sleeping on your couch? You're sleeping to the sound of highway noise. If you're trying to sleep to the sound of highway noise, you say, Bob, hush, be quiet. What's behind me? Nothing. It's going to be a little short stream today. Just doing it for fun of it. Gives me something to do as I travel. $51 to top off the gas tank a few minutes ago. Given day of chasing, always like to have a topped off tank whenever I can, up till a certain point. Then I've got plenty of fuel for the rest of the day until things shut down. But in typical days, probably $100 to $125 in fuel. That actually may be on the low end. It depends on where you have to go. Yeah, that's that one Jamie down there in Bryan College Station area. Yeah, that's one of the stronger little ones right there. Just moving up towards Wixon Valley. I'm looking at it right now. shooting straight north, moving really slow. I can see it on the rear camera from over here. Can we see it? Yeah. So if you're back there in Bryan College Station, that's what's over you right now as I look at it from the north on my rear camera. Now look at it this way. There's a lot of different kinds of beauty in nature and weather and stuff. And you're just looking at those cloud masses like that. You know, that I think that's cool. It ain't always about seeing a tornado. Tornadoes are the bonus of a day. Don't be wrong, there's gonna be no tornadoes today from this stuff. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. There's no upper level support to really create any spin, so I don't have anything to worry about. Yeah, I think this is still remnant moisture that's moved over from what was once Hurricane Eric. Another example of rapid intensification with tropical systems. Thing went to a 4 before landfall, just in a short period of time and a short distance. That's the age we live in. It's even why I tell people that live along the Gulf Coast that, you know, it's always only going to be a Cat 1 or it's only going to be a Category 2. Okay. You hold on to that belief, because if there ain't no shear or anything else working against that system, that thing could rapidly intensify. Okay, so anyway, that's what you got looking back towards College Station. Just happened to look at the right moment. Hello, Lorna. I'm still eating. I'm eating my burger now. Thank you. Somebody had a little car accident there. They're okay. I'm not gonna stop because they're okay. There's somebody else there now. They're okay. But their car is tore up. And I bet I know why. Hydroplaned. Because that heavier rain came right through here just a little while ago. And they were going too fast. And they hydroplaned and they hit the cable divider separating northbound and southbound. Guarantee you. That's why I slow down. I say it all the time. I don't want to hurt me. I don't want to hurt my vehicle. I don't want to hurt somebody else. Back right quick. Yep. This stuff comes to North Dakota Station back there. You can see the top. I got several little updrafts back to my east and southeast. All following almost exactly the same line. I had created a short intro video for live streams. I don't know if that actually played before I started or not. It's less than 2 minutes long and it is unlisted or unpublished. Well, it's not. It's unlisted. It's not public. I thought I had that set up to automatically play. Maybe it did or didn't. I don't know if it did or not. It doesn't matter. Something I threw together all inside of 15 minutes. Today's stream will not last long. I've actually run myself right all the way off the radar map already. There's going to be nothing to see. Once I get up to probably about Waco, Texas, that's probably when I'll end it. There's nothing even going on up there. Probably not going to be anything going on up there. Backside. Backside. Really? Okay. I don't want to go as far as to say the burger was yummy, but it put food in my tummy. That's what mattered. I'm getting a few gusty winds through here now. Rain-cooled air creating some gusty winds. The only severe thunderstorm warning anywhere in the nation right now is in Tennessee. At a glance, I think we might get some stuff up way up in the northern plains today. You know, it's not dark up there in North Dakota, for example. It's not dark up there until, God, what, 10:30 at night? Remember being up there throwing a frisbee one time. It was like 10 p.m., 10 p.m. or something like that. And I was on the phone call "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm throwing a frisbee," and it was to somebody in Texas, and I said, "Oh, I'm just out here throwing a frisbee with somebody." And he said, "In the dark?" I said, "No, it's daylight up here." "Well, it's not." "Yes, it is." Yeah, I'm gonna be shutting down before I get to Waco. Yeah, I definitely want to make some improvements before next year's severe season. Of course, we still got the fall severe weather season, which I typically don't do a lot of travel during that. I pretty much confine myself to, well, almost like I did this year. But still, I don't. On occasion, I might go up to Oklahoma during fall season, but typically I just kind of say I'm going to stay within a 250-mile radius of the homestead. Not worry about all that other stuff. But yeah, I got some improvements I definitely want to make before next year. I don't know if I'll be able to do all of it though. I'd like a better quality camera here for the front. I'd like to move a camera to the back that I can actually turn. At least turn it 90 degrees would even be helpful. More likely I'd want to shoot for a 180 degree area of rotation on that. 360 would be the max, but you know, it is, what can you do? And we'll do all that, then I'm going to have to go through a whole new switcher system. I'm going to have additional power going back out there for that. I would like to add commercial grade modem with external antenna pack, multiple carriers on that, of course, all coming back in and everything bonding back together through the Ethernet right back to the computer. And potentially even a pretty high-end processor laptop to go in here too, to replace the one that's actually in here now, the primary one. And that way I can make this one, which it's high powered. It's running a lot of things. But I think I'd like to have a little more power, you know what I mean? A little more versatility. Then I could graduate this one to being computer number 2. And my old computer number 2 would simply end up being a backup to computer 2. So see, it's pretty boring sky now. I mean, not that it wasn't intriguing earlier. At least there was something. This has turned into nothing. Still got that stuff shooting north back kind of behind me, more or less, or back to my southeast, but That's going to go away too. So I'm just focusing myself on getting to my destination. Get rested up for tomorrow. You can kind of see some of the top stuff back there, sheared off tops back there on the lower left. We have 28 bored people on a Sunday afternoon. 29 if you count me. Fixing to be coming into Riesel, Texas. And this is another little town that you don't want to speed through. Once I get on I-35 here in another 30 minutes maybe, or less, I get to get on the racetrack with everybody else. I'm not in a big rush, so I'm gonna try to stay over. Cruise on up there at my own time. See, a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit right here, see, so as a lot of people make their mistake, they top this hill, and guess what? Your local law enforcement is sitting right on the other side of the hill over here. Sometimes right here at this Dollar General, okay? But most times, right over here at this convenience store that is in the divided highway. And there's one sitting there now. Speak of the devil. See? Told you. What'd I tell you? You can't say that I don't know my little towns and the little gimmicks that go along with them. Yeah, I'm getting close to shutdown time here. Certainly is nothing to see. Just look at it as a Sunday afternoon drive with a few clouds and a couple of bolts of lightning, with a couple of little small thunderstorms, which formed because of the heat of the day and a little added moisture content from what once was a Pacific hurricane. And old Bob, he's just traveling up to Dallas and decided to stream for a little while, just for his own amusement. And maybe the very slight amusement of anybody else that was was interested for the least amount of time. Oh, it's a big bump here. I forgot about that. Yeah, so my next location is going to be Waco, Texas. That's where I will be jumping up on the interstate and moving on north. Just one last little look at the radar. A little complex back to my southeast. It's kind of basically moving up towards Groesbeck, Texas. If I was on Highway 14, I'd be right beside that, but I'm not. I'm more focused on today's destination, Dallas, Texas. Alright. 4:23, so I'm gonna go ahead and say 4:30 is I'm gonna hit the button. I'm gonna hit the off button at 4:30. Matter of fact, let me get ready to do that. Wee. How's it going? Yeah. It's going. Okay. We're good. I still got to figure out what this keyframe frequency is. Never found that. Don't know what it is. All right. So let's do one last little thing here. Show you the radar. See the radar? There's the radar. See everything back to my east and southeast? It's a little ways away from me, of course. You can see my location. Upper left-hand corner, that's my current location. Just rain, just rain. I think that's going to be about right. I'm going to be in Waco in about 5 or 6 minutes. So 4:30 sounds like a pretty good time to shut down this stream. When will I be back? Who knows? Have to be a little bit of a reason, and I don't see any reasons for the next several days. Not that I'll even have time for it anyway. Let me get through the next 2 weeks, and then I'll decide if there's anything worthy of my attention to go for in July. Unless by chance something popped up kind of out of the blue over the next 2 weeks and I'm free. But I don't know how much freedom I'm going to have over the next 2 weeks. So there's nothing definite. Well, there is something definite, but it has nothing to do with streaming or the weather. But we'll see, we'll see. A day at a time. Okay, for the 22 boring, it's going to come out wrong. Oh my gosh, didn't mean it that way. For the 22 people that are watching and being bored along with me, I do appreciate that. And even though this has been boring, I guarantee you there's times that there is much, much, much better content on live streams. Today's just not one of them. And many days don't have much, except for a segment within a 4 or 5 hour window. It's just the way it is in this world. So, if you hadn't hit the subscribe, please do. Here is my exit. So I just shoot around this loop and I'll be at I-35 here in just a few minutes. Got a homeless guy out here with his dog under an umbrella. I hate to see the poor little puppy sitting there like that. Yeah, I don't like seeing that. I'm not going to look anymore. And I'm going to end this once I get myself back up on the road here. Poor dog. Anyway. I just say goodbye to my puppies and my wife earlier. Puppies are always happy when I get back home. I don't know what my wife is. I think she is. Okay. Okay. Let me bring up my window so I can go ahead and shut down here. At least thanks again for riding along. See you another day. Whenever that may be, I couldn't tell you at this point in time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, unless you're in Australia or out that direction, where it's already tomorrow. Good day.